We're just excited to see this matchup.
Should be a lot of fun. This is a top 25 matchup in the MCLA standards of rankings, but this is the #1 seed in the Southern Division, Coastal Carolina, who beat Wake Forest last year on this very field to get to the final, where they took on Charlotte and eventually lost in that final. Both teams vying for an automatic qualifier in the MCLA tournament. Both teams probably need to win this tournament to get in, more so Coastal than Wake Forest. As we get underway, Wake Forest, the number 12 team in the country, taking on the 22nd ranked team in the country, Coastal Carolina. A false start leads us here. Coastal off the face, and we're going to get to see this Coastal Carolina offense today. What are some players to watch today for us, George? Because this is an exciting matchup between these two squads.
Yeah, from Wake Forest, I think #2, Luke Valentino. He's got 33 goals on the year and 25 assists, so he's very balanced both ways. And he's actually a transfer from D3 Trinity College.
Shot early on is corralled and taken there by goaltender for Wake Forest, Jack Church, in between the pipes today. And how about for Coastal Carolina?
Yeah, for Coastal, I think number 37, Cam Fagan. He's a senior with 24 goals, 4 assists, so a little bit goal-heavy there.
As Wake Forest getting on the board first, we just talked about Valentino in the open. He didn't let you get out the Coastal player to watch because he wants to get watched on the field plenty. That's his 34th goal of the year as a Trinity transfer puts one home.
Absolutely. We can see if Cam Fagan can follow that up himself. But he was first team All ALC last year, and he's also All-American midfielder in 2022.
Valentino opening up the scoring. These two teams met earlier this season. It was a 10-5 win for Wake Forest, but Coastal definitely was in that game. They was leading 4-2 at halftime, and Chris Mango has talked about we just could not stop turning the ball over in the second half. We need to do a better job of taking care of our possessions. And Wake Forest playing a little shorthanded, missing a few guys today, but that's no matter. This is going to be a big-time battle for the ALC final berth. Wake Forest already trying to get inside here, rolling through. Shot on net is saved there by the Coastal goalie, Kyle Patton. As Logan Reynolds got a shot off there. Patton, a senior, replacing the great Noah Becker from last season, who was first team All ALC. Back up to the top as Valentino will handle it. Look at the speed and the shot, and that one goes wide.
Looks like Wake has settled into a little bit of a 1-4-1. Nice backside action happening. Good movement.
Going to be a good matchup today. Him and Chris Flinspach. Coach Chris Mango said that's the best defender we have on the field. Inside roll. Vinny Caparola playing some nice defense out there. Outside shot goes high as Wake Forest offense is peppering the goaltender already today. Wake Forest coming in with a record of 10-2 as there's a shot from beyond the cage, and it looked like he might have stepped in the crease, did Valentino, so it'll go the other way for the Chanticleers. Wake Forest coming in at 10-2, coached by Brett Hewitt in his 9th season at the program. Has coached at many levels, Division II and Division III at Bentley College and Nichols College, but he's found a home here at Wake Forest, building up this program. And for Coastal Carolina, they are 7-3 coming into this year. And we mentioned Chris Mango in his 2nd season, was a former coach over at SUNY Copelskill, and now has worked his way here. Passion from both of these schools, especially Chris Mango. Coastal Carolina, a bit rowdy of an identity, as we have come to know and love with the beach party mentality that they bring to this tournament. And for Wake Forest, certainly an identity of growth, development, and they just have a lot of kids that have played at a lot of high levels at the high school level. Pass inside. Valentino wanted to go behind the back. Got a good feed, but wasn't able to corral it. Now Wake Forest will have it back.
You can already see Valentino off ball, very active.
And there's a shot and a score as Wake Forest with another goal to get themselves up 2-0.
Great job by that Wake Forest offense. Just keep their feet moving. You see the backside guys aren't just standing there watching their teammate. They're moving, they're cutting, they're exchanging off ball. Good handle on the crease. Good finish there. Coastal hasn't had a possession on offense yet. They've lost a couple face-offs. Weren't able to clear the ball. Let's see if they can get the ball here, get a possession.
inside there to number 34, Nate Seidel, with the goal for Wake Forest. So good start here for the Demon Deacons as Coastal wins that face-off. Any keys to the game today for Coastal and for Wake Forest, George?
Yes, for Coastal, we're going to start out protect the rubber. As we see right here, them trying to get that ball back. A couple turnovers. They cannot afford to continue kind of turning that ball over, giving Wake Forest those easy possessions. Got to value the ball, take good quality shots.
That's a shot that goes high.
Not a bad opportunity there, but, you back it up, you keep possession. That's totally fine. For Wake Forest, it's low and slow. Stay nice, under control, play your game. Okay, they feel confident. If they play their game, do what they're supposed to do, they can execute and get this done.
Coastal working it around so far. Chris Mango's squad coming in very hungry. They know that last year, the face-off, he said the face-off kind of let them down last year. There's a shot saved by Church. As shot taken by Tyler Matheson, who's coming off an injury to play in this game. Coastal is ready to go. They are hungry for a championship. Nothing less than 2 wins. That's what they want. They said it's going to be a war. We're ready for it. And the confidence always exudes. Some call it cockiness, some call it confidence, but they have confidence all over the field and a confidence in Tyler Matheson to get that goal as Finian Sofield is able to assist him on that effort. And Coastal Carolina gets themselves on the board in a tight matchup.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina going into a 2-2-2 set there with 2 guys on the crease. Drew a slide from the crease guy. No 2 slide. The guy kind of pops out from the goal there. Gets a good quality opportunity.
And there's a shot there as underneath. They are ready, willing, and able. This is a rivalry that goes back some, like we talked about. They described it as frenemies, but you could already see Coach Mango was chopping at the bit before this game. And it kind of, like we said, respectful off the field, but when it comes down to it, they want to beat each other real bad.
And this is the big one. They want that regular season game, obviously, but the tournament game, this is the prize they've been working towards.
Coastal won the semifinal last year, as we mentioned. Up top here, Chris Kaminskis.
Again, a good 2-2-2 dodge there with a pick in the middle. Crease guys are active.
To Matheson. And now they settle back.
This.
Yep. Kaminskis going to take it. Now throw it behind the cage. No shot from Fagan there. There's the guy they call Hammer. He's got a big shot. And that one goes out of bounds and was off of a stick. It looked like Johnny Lyon, who's getting the start today, is the one that was able to get that one.
And keys to the game for Coastal, like we talked about, protect that rubber. So those unforced turnovers there, have to eliminate that from the game.
And now the all-important clears and rides. Jack Church, one of the better goaltenders at the Division II level. It's a high pass that wasn't quite kept alive. Logan Reynolds on the effort.
Looks like on that ride, Coastal sending 2 guys there to pressure the ball, and then they're kind of manning up across the midfield line with 4 guys.
Matheson, shot wide. Well, Jack Church is the goaltender today for Wake Forest. He is from New York City, played at the Taft School in Connecticut, a high preparatory school. Had 10 saves already earlier this year against Coastal Carolina, and they will rotate. One of the things that kind of threw Coastal off was the rotation of those goaltenders, as that one's off the stick of a defender. Gavin McDonough you'll also see today maybe in net, as if things go differently with a different style of plan or they want to throw something different at them, they'll throw 2 goaltenders at one time as officials stop play.
Again, you can see here Coastal is dropping into that 2-2-2. Look for a pick and roll kind of at the top and bottom with the crease guys going high and low.
Drive to the net. That one is cleared out by the defense. Matheson got it back, and that one is wide. Johnny Lyon was trying to go inside deep, and the defense was not letting him inside. To Fagan, big shot to score, and that's the hammer we were talking about. He puts the nail right in the wood, and Fagan's on the board.
Yeah, and it looks like Coastal's finding the recipe for success here in that 2-2-2. They're drawing that slide from one of those guys on the crease, and that backside midi is not able to come and handle that guy getting to the top. One of those middies is going high, one of those middies is going low. If that backside middie can't communicate that and slough in there, it's tough. And that's what that double crease does. It forces the defense to really communicate those calls over and over and over again. It puts a lot of pressure on those backside defenders. Kyle
McCall on the assist there, and we are notched up at 2. This ought to be a really fun matchup if you're watching this game here on Lacrosse TV. 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. We've already gone through 6 minutes. It's flying by. And Coastal Carolina trying to win another face-off here, but the ball's still loose in their end and now kicked out towards the middle of the field. And Wake Forest had it for a moment, but a good fight there. Caparola in amongst some of the rest of the shots, and it's going to be a hold, and it's going to be given over to Wake Forest. See the intensity of Coach Mango sitting on the field there. He's always yelling. This is a loud, rambunctious team that likes to sometimes be in your face, but also as well, they back it up with their play on the field.
Wake, after not possessing the ball for a while, it's a big possession for them, trying to get a little of that momentum back.
And you wonder, with some of the players out, Wake Forest maybe having to deal with some of that fatigue today. They're missing a few guys. Remember, it is exams week for some schools here, and club level, that can mean the difference between playing in a game and conference tournament or being on time for an exam. And especially at a high-priced academic school like Wake Forest, that can happen sometimes. That shot off the post is going to go back over to Coastal. So they are not deep today, but they hope to get some players back tomorrow if they advance.
And that's a good goalie play by the keep there. Even though it hit pipe, he's doing a good job of really hugging that pipe, getting big there, and kind of daring them to shoot across cage.
Nice job by Kyle Patton. 113 saves this year for Kyle Patton in full-time job in net.
Let's see if Wake can make that adjustment defensively of this 2-2-2 set that Coastal's probably going to go to. See if they can see that backside midi or backside defender is going to slough in a little bit tighter.
Pass inside, recollected. Thomas Ham now decides to wind up and take it, and Church smothers that one as a low shot. Nice job by Church, and Wake is out and running.
As a shooter, you know, if you catch that ball low and you shoot low, you want to change levels. That's a low-to-low shot. Goalie tracked it the whole time, even though it's a pretty good look.
Coming on the clear here, and they'll settle. Wake has looked like Ben Klein, one of the sophomore midfielders. Another Connecticut kid from Staples High School in the Fairfield area, Westport, Connecticut. Here's Valentino.
And you can hear that Coastal defense communicating early, which means they want to send that slide early on him, as he's a dangerous player. And there's that early slide.
Nice slide, too. It looked like they're isolating Valentino with a short stick midfielder. He got it back, but it was picked off by Vinny Caparola. And Caparola maybe a little dangerous there, as Patton wanted it in the crease, and they were sniffing around, but eventually it is cleared out. Now a chance for Coastal Carolina, as we're just 6 minutes to go here in this first quarter. 11 minutes through in the first quarter here underway here in Lynchburg, Virginia, site of the ALC tournament. Charlotte already advanced today with a 25-9 win over the Citadel, and the winner of this game will take on the 49ers in tomorrow's championship matchup. Patience here from shot to clears. Kaminskis, big-bodied player. Back up top. They'll let Nick Simaluka go at it. Now to Fagan. Fagan's got a wicked shot. Inside, and that one's picked off. Good anticipation by Church.
Great play by the goalie there. A lot of times those keepers will just kind of want to hang out in the cage. Good awareness to come out there and just make the easy pickoff pass.
Ethan Haas on the clear there. Another Connecticut player. There's so many Connecticut players. He's from the very good Darien High School in Darien. Passing around the cage. Bryce Falstich, the senior. Shot, score! False stitch delivers and gives the Demon Deacons the lead.
Not a terrible possession by Coastal, even though they gave up the goal there. That's a tough angle shot. Looks like he might have snuck that one between the goalie's legs. Unfortunate for Coastal, but good job by that midi pushing him down the lane. Maybe contact him a little bit earlier, get him a little bit wider, take away that angle on the shot.
Falstich last year was not able to play in the tournament. That's his 12th goal of the year as a senior. He had an injury, and really a good trigger on him as Wake Forest wins the face-off there.
And I believe that's the third face-off win by Wake where Coastal went early.
So that would be got to be careful on the penalties there for Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, I think they might have rotated a guy for that last one to avoid that, but they do.
Drive inside. Left-handed shot and a score. How about the delay from Logan Reynolds, who's able to put it beyond the net. The freshman puts it through and gives the Demon Deacons a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, Coastal gets way too extended here on defense. They get their top of the line of the defense pressing way far out. There's not many people in the middle of the field. They're way too extended without help on the backside, so there's no slide. Wake makes a guy miss, and when they're that far extended out, there's a lot of grass, a lot of room. Smart to bring it right towards the goal, finishes away from the goalie's strong hand, low. Great finish, great goal.
Reynolds, a lefty, growing up near Chicago and Evanston, Illinois. Quick win off the face for Coastal Carolina, and that one passes wide is Dylan Staley, who's tied for first coming into today with 90 ground balls, tied for first in the conference, rather. 79% face-off win percentage for him. But so far, Wake Forest has kept their cool so far on the dot.
Yeah, that was a great win down the field, creating that fast break. Unfortunately, just didn't dial in that pass at the end and kind of wasted that opportunity. But that's a great face-off win by him. Hopefully he can get some more opportunities like that, get that pass in the right spot.
Waiting for reinforcements on offense as Wake Forest making some substitutions and matchups continue. Valentino gets himself in. And now they threw the long pole. They've shown long poles and short sticks at Valentino and playing him in a lot of different positions as Wake Forest. There was a great opportunity inside, but not able to be corralled by Reynolds, and Patton will get it out. Seen a few opportunities missed on those inside cuts for the Demon Deacons, yet they still lead, and now Coastal Carolina looking to respond. Ham! Huge shot. And a little extra meat on that as Ham puts it home.
And that's a classic no, yes from the Coastal coaches. They're subbing over there. They're calling yellow. I think they got 4 guys on offense right there. 2 guys coming out of the sub box. But, hey, you get a look like that, and you can shoot it like that. Put it in the back of the cage. He's happy.
I'm sure that's one less gray hair for Chris Mango on the sidelines. Now we're under 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. That is absolutely flying by.
I think Wake was even caught a little off guard there with that shot since Coastal was subbing and weren't quite prepared.
Another win for Dylan Staley. And Coastal has that weapon at the faceoff dot. They really, really enjoy. And now Chris Mango set up their offense. What have we seen so far? What's the style of offensive play from Coastal?
Yeah, Coastal's had a lot of success, I think, with 2 guys on the crease. They haven't ran the 2-2 exclusively, but a lot of the 2-2-2 looks they're getting are open. We'll see if Wake can adjust to that. Obviously, with the 2-2-2, there's 2 guys up high, 2 on the crease, and 2 behind. Here it looks like a little bit of a 1-4-1.
Drive inside. Samaluka's shot is saved, and Jack Church is cool, calm, and collected in net today.
You're also seeing a little bit from the past game when Citadel is playing their man defense a little tight to the goal sometimes. You're seeing Wake play a little tight to the goal too, not giving themselves a whole lot of time to react on some of those dodges from up top.
Dakin Moore able to get it across the clear and had a nice opportunity. Reynolds saved again there. Patton. Moore trying to scoop that one out again. Comes to Reynolds, and Patton out of the cage with an excellent save.
If you're Coastal, if you pick up that ball, you want to get to the outside as a pole. You don't want to bring that ball to the middle of the field, create that turnover, that opportunity. But great save by the goalie.
See if Wake Forest slows it down a little bit here as Seidel has it behind cage. Seidel, quick shot, and that one's high. Wake Forest rotating plenty of players right now at attack, trying to keep themselves fresh and keep those D-mids off the field. It's one of the things that Brett Hewitt talked about was we want to drain that clock because we are shorthanded and rotate as many guys on and off as we possibly can to get guys breathers. Shot and a score! And there's Seidel again. He's off to a rip-roaring start.
Right there, Coastal has to be aware of that matchup problem. Right before that goal on the very previous possession, Wake saw that matchup against that short stick, and he took a shot and he missed it. That same possession, I was about to say it, they came right back to him behind the goal on that short stick, and it's kind of like taking candy from a baby at that point. You're going to get topside and stick it to the top of the goal. Obviously, with that longer pull, you have more reach to be able to get that check off. But as soon as an attackman or a talented offensive player sees that short stick from behind, if they can turn that corner and get their hands free, that short stick is not going to reach up into their stick in their hands, and they're going to be able to get that shot off.
Seidel is returning off of injury. He strained his knee against UNC Wilmington earlier this year, and they've been really kind of working him back into the lineup, and it's a good thing because he's probably one of their best attackmen. And again, another preparatory Connecticut kid here, played at the Hotchkiss School up in the Constitution State.
And I would look for more of that out of Wake Forest. Look for them to try to find those Coastal Carolina short sticks, especially if they're on their attackmen. Attack them from behind. If they can get above GLE, they're going to turn and shoot. And as a defensive midi, you just got to keep that top side, push them down the alley or to the, not down the alley, back beyond the goal or to the outside.
Up top. Ham already has a goal. Inside, score! A goal inside for the Chanticleers, and they have cut the lead again to 1.
Great active play on the crease here. He keeps his feet moving. You see, if he's got his feet stopped there and he catches it, he's going to get hit. He's not going to make that play. Because he keeps his feet moving towards the ball, he catches it, protects his stick away from that defender, and has a nice little nifty finish with a tough angle.
I know we keep saying it, but that's another Connecticut kid, this time from Coastal, Jack Cahill from Norwalk High School in Norwalk, Connecticut.
I wonder if some of these kids played against each other in high school.
They must have. I mean, all Fairfield County kids or prep school kids up in the NESCAC up there in New England.
And we talked about this rivalry. Maybe that adds a little extra dimension. You know, a couple of these Connecticut high schoolers, maybe some familiar faces out there.
Well known as Valentino has it. And a timeout coming up here with 28 seconds remaining in the first quarter. What have you seen so far from Wake Forest offensively? It seems like they've gotten things out to a good start, obviously, on the offensive side of the ball. Any players that stand out so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think Wake's done a good job of catching and, so right now, I think Wake is doing a good job of just moving the ball. I think they could be a little bit more patient. They're scoring a lot of goals right now, but they're also sometimes forcing a couple looks. They've had those, and they've stuck them in the back of the net. I think they could find those matchups and be a little bit more deliberate like they did at the end there. They found that short stick. They got him onto an attackman and very deliberately kind of attacked that matchup, and were able to score. From Coastal, they're in their 2-2-2 for a bit, getting, again, those crease guys, one's going low, one's going high, making those backside guys have to communicate on who they're going to take. And they got a couple good looks and a couple good goals off that early and kind of got away from it a little bit. I think Coastal could probably just execute that a little bit more, make Wake make that adjustment before you get out of that. Overall, a great, awesome, fun first quarter. I'm really excited to see the second.
Very much so. It's fast-paced and high-scoring. No question about it. By the way, it's an absolutely gorgeous day here for lacrosse. As we said earlier, it was overcast skies, and right as that first game started, we just had the sun open up, and it is now 69 degrees out here and a beautiful day. It's hopefully getting up to the mid-70s. A few clouds in the sky here on the mountain in Lynchburg, but again, great day for lacrosse.
And that's right, gorgeous mountain view, 360-degree angles. Not a much better spots to watch it.
Blue Ridge is chock full of beauty, but also a good lacrosse hotbed. As a couple of South Carolina versus North Carolina matchups in Division II semifinals. Later today will be the Division I semifinals. Coming up as there's a shot that goes wide and low with 13 seconds left in the quarter.
Kind of looks like Wake is in like a 1-3-2. They're kind of bringing that backside attackman up the field as the dodge happens, and it really turns into more of a 1-4-1 as the play develops.
Seidel had a good opportunity shot. Again, it went wide. So Just 7 seconds on the clock. Logan Reynolds going to try to get it in play here. 5 seconds. Had a man for a moment, then easily collected by Patton, who will run out the clock. And that'll do it. A fast-paced first quarter here in Lynchburg. And the score after one, Wake Forest 5 and Coastal Carolina 4. Will come right back here to Lynchburg, right here on Lacrosse TV. Back here in Lynchburg City Stadium, the site of the Division II and Division I semifinals of the ALC tournament. Winner of these two tournaments both get an automatic qualifier to Round Rock, Texas at the MCLA National Tournament. Good game so far. Wake Forest and Coastal Carolina doing battle once again as Cam Fagan wins off the face. Quick turnaround, back to Fagan. Shot save by Jack Church. Back into the stick, and scoring is Johnny Lyon. And just like that, we are tied again, and a fast pace continues right here in Lynchburg.
What a play that was. Great fast break execution by Coastal. Even better save, and then even better by Coastal to get on that loose ball and stick it in the back of the net.
Wild play and wild sequence, and Coastal, all of a sudden, the energy is out and ready to go. It's funny, talking to both of these two coaches, they both were very, very high on their defenses, but it's in the offenses and plenty of firepower. This is some great lacrosse watching, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
A lot of fun.
Another face-off win for the Shots.
It'll be interesting to see how the defensive coaches and players kind of adjust.
Now, Coastal Carolina will suit back up. Shot, save, and the goal. Wow, scintillating. What a shot there by Nick Simaluka as that one goes bar down and inside. And Coastal has their first lead of the game.
Yeah, I mean, just a good individual play there. I mean, he gets really a step downfield and just takes the look. It's a pretty deep shot. You'd like to see the defender get on the hands there a little earlier. Maybe see the goalie make a play there, but that was a hard shot to the corner. Yeah, Coastal with two quick ones.
Coastal taking advantage of their face-off victories as another one coming up here, or so we thought, as now it'll be kind of corralled in by Wake Forest. Maybe, nope, Staley got it. Nope, they keep tricking me on these face-off shots. Wake Forest able to come out with a victory on that face-off, but they've won the last two face-offs and they made those possessions count.
I think both coaches there also want to see some of those guys running through ground balls, and so some of those one-handed kind of pickups. You see that nice check, it's easy coming out. You want to see someone get that backhand low, drop their hips nice and low, scoop through that thing and accelerate out, protect that stick. Pick it up one-handed, pull it above your head. Easy for the defense to get that.
Wake Forest with their first possession of the second quarter. Just working it around quickly is Brett Hewitt's team. Like we said, lots of kids that have played at a high level of the preparatory schools in New England. And there's a shot in by number 22. That is Ethan Haas, another one from New England, like we said, and that gives Wake Forest an opportunity to tie this game back up.
Yeah, another goal right off the bat. Already 3 in this quarter so far. Honestly, not horrible defense from Coastal there. Forces them down the wing, makes the angle hard. They slid and, forced them even further down that wing. Really just a good individual play. You'd like to see the goalie get that one, but that's a good shot, good goal.
Haas, Jr. as another faceoff. This time again going back to Wake Forest. They're starting to find their groove here as Dakin Moore picks that one up, and Wake Forest will set up shop here. Again, Wake Forest has been quite a good team. They've talked about the culture that they bring as they really go family, school, and lacrosse in that order. That was Brett Hewitt's quote to us earlier this week. He wants guys to just come, participate where they can play and have fun, and at the same time have that social life, along with being able to play high-level lacrosse, which they have done and put themselves in situations as Patton smothers that save. And One of the things that they've talked about is, they talk a lot with coaches, and it's just a good demographic for even a Division I NCAA team. It's probably a good demographic. You've got a high-level, high-academic school, private school, and right in the state of North Carolina, Tobacco Road. And I think that's part of the reason why they've had such good, talented lacrosse players come through.
Yeah, and Wake with a bunch of facility upgrades across the board with some of their other sports, too, making it a little bit more attractive for some of these guys coming in there, getting to use some nice, fancy ACC tools.
As most of their NCAA, all their NCAA sports at the ACC level. Flag is down, so Coastal is kind of on a delayed man-up situation as Wake Forest is looking to get the ball back. There's plenty of defenders inside. "20 seconds on the shot clock."
Yeah, Wake electing to put that offsides attackman just on the crease.
Not a lot of space inside here. Pass inside, ball is loose in the crease and collected by Church. And now we'll see the penalty. It looks like as offsides on Wake Forest, it'll be 30-second technical foul. So a good opportunity for Coastal to get out in front here. And we'll see how Wake Forest handles it. Their man-down defense and their defense really in general, one of the keys to the game that they said they did not want to let anything happen in the middle of the field. They wanted to force some outside shots from the shots.
Coastal starting in their 3-3 man up. See if we can get some action out of this pretty soon probably. There we go.
Watch out for number 37, Fagan. Here it comes. Shot. And there it is. Another snipe. Top shelf. Fagan just has a missile out of that stick.
Yeah, and that's almost too easy for Coastal there. They go to that 3-3 set. That top center guy simply kind of cuts down to the crease. Wake's middle guy kind of follows him down as that other guy kind of bumps to that top center, creating that kind of bubble of space. He steps right in, stings the top corner.
And he just really comes down hard on those shots.
Next time, Wake might have to pass that off to another guy there, communicate, kind of recover back up to the top.
An honorable mention All-American a year ago at the midfield position.
Especially shooting from the middle of the field, you got the whole cage. There's not, you don't have a bad angle. The goalie can't really pick a side to shade on.
And another face-off win now for Coastal. They talked about Fagan, again, call him his hammer because of the shot, and they believe that he's the best midfielder in the conference, and maybe even in the country, considering he's, like we talked about, first-team all-conference a year ago. It is a intense, self-motivating kind of guy.
And he's not afraid to let it rip either or take that dodge. He's got a little bit of that alpha score mentality in him, which I like to see.
Back all the way up top. I'm going to try to get the matchup with a short stick here. Looks like it was lost out of the stick.
And again, Fagan with 24 goals this year, only 4 assists. Maybe look to Wake to see and make him make that extra pass. You know you can shoot it. You know you can score it. Maybe see if you can make that extra pass, slide early, see if you can make that assist.
Valentino dropped the ball, and Flinspatch picked it up for the shots and get back into attack mode as they've started to put some different faces into the game. Austin Varney from Sturbridge, Massachusetts finds himself in the game now at midfield. Shot. That is another goal, and this time it's Tyler Matheson. Kind of caught Church sleeping a little bit, trying to come back to that side, and it just got enough movement to get Matheson his second goal of the day.
Yeah, right there it looked like he just kind of slipped off him, just wasn't quite tight enough. Kind of a little bit of a ball-watching move going on there. Maybe he was expecting him to sweep to the right, was probably expecting that those guys in the crease to go low and high, was probably expecting to be the 2-slide and kind of sloughed in there. Good lacrosse IQ play to move it to the backside quick and good shot.
Didn't look like they had really set up their offense yet. Finney and Sofield just kind of lackadaisically tossed it over to Matheson and just ripped one high. Well, it's now an 8-6 lead for Coastal Carolina. This is a much higher scoring game than the last game. Quickly out in front. Good passing. Shot. Score! Tic-tac-toe to the freshman, Kyle McCall. The leading scorer has his first of the day, and it is a 9-6 lead for Coastal.
And that's exactly how you draw it up. That's how you run it at practice. Draw that slide guide to you. 1, 2, third pass. Then we're going to stick it in the back of the goal. Great team lacrosse, unselfish goal by Coastal there. That's fun for everyone.
You can see Chris Mango fired up on the sideline, took his hat off and fist pumped hard as the shots are really fired up and putting a big offensive performance. I mean, the fact that this was a 10-5 ball game and the coaches kind of anticipated that it would be another defensive battle, and we have seen nothing but goal scoring. This might be 25-23 when we're done today.
That's right.
We slow it down as the big fella Kaminskis Jr. also coming off injury.
Again, Coastal going to that 2-2-ish look.
McCall.
One high, one low in the
up front. Fagan again lets that trigger get pulled, and
Coastal's going to keep doing that until Wake makes that adjustment.
Fagan coming off the cut, and he got him again, and already Cam Fagan, a hat trick for 37, and the senior is feeling himself with his third goal.
And that was a beautiful set play coming out. A little bit of credit to the coaches there, I think, too. That's like an inbounds basketball play coming out. Hey, guys, we're going to run this. There's a pick on the crease. Both of two offensive guys broke off that pick in either direction on the crease right off the restart. Wide open pass there, caught Wake off guard off the quick restart. Great play by Coastal. You can tell they've been prepping for that in practice.
A much needed timeout today here for Wake Forest. That is another goal. It is a 4-goal streak right now going for Coastal Carolina. We'll take a short break. 10-6 Coastal on top of Wake with 8:19 to go in the half. Come on back on Lacrosse. 4 straight goals for the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers as they have taken a 10-6 lead over Wake Forest in this 4th matchup in the last 2 seasons between these two rivals here in the ALC semifinal. George, what has been the key to Coastal's success the last couple of minutes?
I think the key to their success is just possessing the ball, honestly. I mean, Wake, I think, is getting a little bit trigger-happy early in that shot clock. Coastal's getting a good job of getting the ball down the field, getting the ball around, being kind of deliberate in that offense and kind of taking control of the game.
Brett Hewitt had to take a timeout right after that 4th straight goal for Coastal, and automatic hold there for Coastal Carolina is going to give the ball to Wake Forest. What do you think he said in that timeout?
I think he's going to tell him to calm down. So you see a hard dodge off the start there. So you're going to get rid of the ball and move that ball. Love to see another day sometimes. I think if you're the Wake offense, you're fairly happy with 6 goals at this point in the game, but obviously the defense is struggling. You know, you're still down 4. So, you know, you're going to have to help them. And helping them might be possessing the ball some, taking the air out of it, you know, running a little bit, getting the ball around before you dodge, you know, kind of trying to take some of this momentum back and giving them a little bit of a break. Again, this is very obvious, but if you have the ball, they can't score. So that's a little bit of a defensive strategy to hold it.
Shot inside by Reynolds is saved, and another reason why Wake Forest has not been able to get the ball in the net has certainly been Kyle Patton. He's had a nice day.
Again, we got a reset on the shot clock. Wake should utilize this time. There's no rush here.
Seidel. Inside, move towards the crease, and he looking for a call from the official. He's not going to get it as Coastal is out and running again. They come on that fast break.
Good job of Coastal getting that ball at field early before Wake can get set up on that ride.
And a timeout, looking like Coastal is going to take one with 6:47 to go, as Chris Mango will talk it over. And we've talked about this plenty. Obviously, these two teams know each other well. What do you think Coastal probably took away from that first game that they've been able to utilize in this game now?
Yeah, I mean, I think having a familiar opponent, they're going to have film on that, and these are well-coached teams. They're going to go back and watch that. They're going to find the matchups. They're going to see what they made mistakes on. They're going to watch, you know, opposing offenses to make adjustments. Obviously, the offenses have been really successful. Those offenses have been really successful. And I think you've seen the adjustments from the offensive coaches since that first game. Obviously a little bit more of a defensive battle the first time around, and this time a little bit more fireworks.
Well, we'll obviously have coverage all weekend long, as now you're getting a look at the field and some of the stuff that we get to see as we welcome you into our broadcast booth. I am Dan Zabano, and George Revercombe here with me. It's been a fun, exciting weekend here, and still more fireworks to come, as we still have the Division I games as well, George, with Liberty and Tennessee coming up after this one at 3 o'clock. That should be an exciting matchup as well.
Very exciting game. Obviously, we're here in Lynchburg. Liberty a little bit of a home field advantage, but being very interested to see what what happens in that game.
And also get the number 1 team in the land, Virginia Tech, taking on Temple, a very well-coached Temple Owls team. Later on, that'll be scheduled at 5:30 p.m. All games here on Lacrosse TV all weekend.
And again, another pretty local team, Blacksburg, not that far down the road.
Coastal trying to take advantage here. Fagan, open shot, and they just cannot seem to stop him when he wants to get that shot off. It's a 4th goal. 3 of them have come from way outside. Jack Church is on his own on an island over here with Cam Fagan's shot.
Popping that guy to the near side off the crease there. Again, continue to give Wake issues. He catches it, and that Wake defender gets off balance with a big takeaway check. Kind of comes to tries to intercept that ball. Instead, ends up behind the offensive player. And if that offensive player is named Cam Fagan, probably going to be in the back of the net.
And it looks like it. That's been plenty.
And again, Cam Fagan, 24 goals, 4 assists. You have to know this guy's a scorer. Got to make him distribute that ball.
I was saying he's been plenty to handle for this Wake Forest defense, and start thinking about maybe some lock-off scenarios for him if they can't get anything to go.
That's right.
As Coastal wins another face-off. They've been dominating the face-off game.
These goals from Coastal are largely all assisted goals too, and a lot of these shots are coming right in the middle of the goal, right in the middle of the field. If you're Wake, we like to call that the kitchen in the middle of the field. You got to protect the kitchen. You can't let guys get in there, get good shots off. You want to kind of divide that field, force them down the outside, let that goalie take away angles, give him a chance.
Finian Sofield played in this game and the championship game a year ago. There's a shot that is deflected off of a defender. There's Thomas Ham, who's already had a goal today.
I'd also like to see this Wake defense maybe try to shade a little bit, maybe try to force them to their offhand. Sometimes they're playing them straight up, kind of giving them a two-way go to either side. Maybe try to overplay that right or left hand depending on what the strength is. Force them to that offhand, divide the field, push them down that alley.
Pass deflected off of a leg of a defender and right into the stick of Jack Church's. Wake Forest in desperate need of a goal. Now find themselves down by 5 here as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter.
And if you're Wake here, again, the key here, have composure. There's a lot of game left. 5 goals is not insurmountable at all. Composure, run your offense. You don't want to force anything yet.
Dodge up top from Fallstitch. He had a goal earlier, but he's been a little quiet so far. Back underneath, Reynolds. Shot goes wide.
We got a short stick behind here. Let's see if they attack that right away.
It's Fallstitch with the shorty.
Got 2 shorties behind.
Blows by him. Shot. Save there as that was deflected by Patton.
But if you're Wake, you like that offense. You get a good dodge on a shorty, pretty good shot on cage. Take your time on offense, find those matchups, and attack them again. Don't settle. You don't want to dodge on their best pull necessarily. You might want to put him on the other side of the field.
Back up top now. It's Dan Clifford, the senior. A long stick on him. And he takes a shot to the head. He's going to get a penalty call as a slash coming up here for Coastal Carolina.
Wake running through a lot of checks there. Gets that flag. See if they can get a goal here, get back on the board.
Clifford, a target of Coastal's defense, wanted to keep him quiet. He's been quiet for the most part. 21 goals and 25 assists for him so far this season, and has been kept off the sheet thus far. Need him to step up today, said Coach Brett Hewitt earlier this week. Now man-up opportunity for the Demon Deacons. Shot. Score low and stick side there. I believe that was number 28, Logan Reynolds, who puts that one home in a desperation goal that finally goes through for Wake Forest.
Yeah, good lefty overhand shot to the opposite corner. Just got to get on his hands, communicate that a little bit sooner. Maybe extend that man down zone out just a tiny bit.
Reynolds with another goal, the freshman who they really love. He wasn't able to play in the game against Charlotte, and Wake Forest only lost that game by 1 goal. So it felt like that could have made a big difference in that game. But they're going to need more from him going in. It's still trail by 4 as Coastal wins another face-off here. Now the shots will go back to work offensively, and the timeout coming for Chris Mango with 3:39 to go here in the second quarter. Right now, 11-7, Coastal on top, as it is certainly a better possession there, definitely taking advantage of the man-up situation for Wake Forest. But again, still trying to work towards just regular offensive sets, finding their groove.
Yeah, and I think Coastal's did a good job kind of adjusting to that first quarter barrage that Wake put on them. And again, Wake there at the end, for their credit, you know, they had a good possession, drew that flag, and ran that man-up play to perfection, put it in the back of the net, and that's what they needed, stemming that momentum a little bit.
Certainly been an advantage as well at the face-off dot for Coastal Carolina. You see a guy like Dylan Staley in there. Wake Forest is throwing a few guys at him, but right now leading in that category. So
yeah, it looks like Staley off the bat might have had 2 false starts to open the game, but since then he's been red hot. He's so quick. He was a little too quick at the start of the game.
Well, sometimes they got to put that pressure on you, right? If you have 2 violations.
That's right.
To have more perfection in that department, as Coach Brett Hewitt and some of his other staff members barking out orders to their players. Get things squared away defensively here for Wake Forest. They have not found an answer to the hammer, Cam Fagan. He's out there again, lurking in the middle. We'll just try to work some clock and some time and then find the open shot. From up top, another shot there by Matheson. That one trickles past the crease.
Little 2-3-1 alley dodge with a crease pop that time. And again, that kind of crease pop up to the near side, a lot of issues for Wake.
And now it
looks like Wake is sliding from the crease, obviously. So they're going to come from the crease there with that crease guy kind of popping up to the near side up high. Wake's not kind of bumping over from that backside sometimes on that communication, and a lot of times that guy's Fagan, kind of freeing up his hands.
Stoppage of play there is restarted. Nice job keeping that one alive on one side there. That was a good job by the defender of Coastal Carolina. And now maybe an extra possession they get. Nice job by Owen Bishop. Fagan, didn't think he was going to take it from that far out, but might have gone anyway. Simaluka, shot high. 20 seconds on the shot clock here for the Chanticleers. Lyon from behind cage getting peppered by a defenseman. 10 seconds on the clock. Tried the skip pass and it was picked off, and now Wake Forest going to get out and running.
Live ball turnover. This could lead to danger for Coastal here.
That was the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference, Will Peterson. Shot, save there. Great save as a high shot goes right into the stick of Kyle Patton.
Tough angle on that shot. You'd like to see him catch that, get to the middle of the field on a seat cut a little quicker, then turn that thing loose with a little bit better angle at the goal there.
Opportunity on the fast break is thwarted by a dropped pass, and now with 2 minutes to go, Coastal Carolina going to try and extend this lead. Of course, they had a lead at halftime in the last game and then let it slip out of their hands as Fagan immediately doubled.
And again, Wake kind of settling for that last shot early, the shot clock.
Roll dodge there, and what a goal inside. That is Jake Scheibling, the senior, with a beautiful leverage on that spin and then finishing it with a goal.
Yeah, great spin here. Defender's a little too maybe concerned with the takeaway there. Fun little exercise for a lot of you guys at home is when you see a goal scored, oftentimes that defender just threw a takeaway check and he's off balance. If that offensive guy is able to protect his stick while that defender throws a takeaway check, if he's off balance while throwing that, which happens a lot of the time, he's able to kind of roll that, keep good balance, and then finish strong to the opposite side of the goal again.
Scheibel was a mainstay on the team last year and a starter. Has mostly played a lot of third-line midfield because of an ankle injury that he sustained earlier in the season. And he has come back. He's battled through injuries, and that's a great goal, reminiscent of the Scheibel that we saw last season. Wow, Coastal now out to a 5-goal lead, and they can extend it even more with this final possession that they can basically hold for most of the shot clock.
And this is Coastal doing a good job controlling the game, controlling the tempo of the game.
Inside opportunity is backed off as Sofield got bumped around by a few defenders.
I'd like to see the Wake offense do this a little bit more, be a little bit more deliberate with the ball early on, get a little bit of possession time, work that ball early, don't settle.
Skip pass is too high, and McCall has had some issues with catching here, some of these passes. Gets it back, though. McCall making his way towards behind the cage. McCall moving. And a nice hit there is knocking the stick out. Are we going to see a penalty, though, here? No, it's going to be against Coastal. There might have been a crease violation. Ben Snavely came over and tried to lay the wood. And it'll go back to Wake Forest. An opportunity here. Under 30 seconds to play in the half. They need a goal. Valentino slow playing it.
Trying to get over the top.
10 seconds on the clock. Valentino underneath. Trying to roll dodge inside. Can't find anything. Pushed off by the defender. Up top for Valentino, and a great job by the defender there for Coastal Carolina. Owen Bishop, the freshman, shutting that down immediately on that last possession. It'll be nothing for Wake Forest as they go into the half down by 5 goals.
And real fast on Bishop. He's had a fantastic half on Luke Valentino. He's been shadowing him a lot of the game and really kind of shutting him down so far.
Any thoughts going into halftime?
Yeah, I mean, I think Coastal did a good job of again, Wake's offense was successful, but sometimes I think early in the clock they were forcing some shots and forcing some looks, where Coastal was kind of getting the ball in the offensive end and staying patient. If it's not there, we're going to move the ball, we're going to run away, we're going to live to see another down, essentially. Got 80 seconds on the clock, and you can use that. From Wake's perspective, you're down 5, and there's no need to panic yet. You've shown you can score, you've shown you can win some faceoffs here and there. So you're looking to execute in the second half, run your offense, run your defense, and definitely make some adjustments to that defense, I think. But overall, great half of play.
Great half of play. We'll come back for the second half and enjoy the rest of it. 12-7 Coastal on top at the half here in Lynchburg. Back here for the second half of the Division II semifinals between Wake Forest and Coastal Carolina in the Atlantic Lacrosse Conference Tournament. Winner of this game heads to Championship Sunday to take on the defending champions, the Charlotte 49ers, who won earlier today. 12-7, Coastal Carolina on top, and Dan Zampano along with George Revercombe, former Appalachian State midfielder, here doing the coverage for Lacrosse TV, as we have had an exciting, fast-paced, and high-scoring affair between these two squads, but it's been Coastal Carolina, and in particularly Cam Fagan, that has been a problem for Wake Forest. As Jack Church picks that pass off, and Wake Forest out to a good defensive possession.
And I was about to credit that to a lot of the deliberateness that Coastal is running their offense with, but a quick turnover there, Wake going the other way.
Quickly getting out in front. Opportunity for Clifford, and he doesn't take it. And it'll be a little bit more nuanced with what they do on this possession. George, some of the keys to that first half, like you said, Coastal has just found Cam Fagan all over the place, but it's not just been him. Their offense has just been stout, and Wake Forest defense has struggled, especially against a lot of the movement that the Chanticleers have created.
Yeah, I think a lot of the double crease action has been giving Wake a lot of problem. Again, I think one of their adjustments was that backside kind of slough, making sure they got there with a 2. Coastal's kind of countered with kind of popping that guy more on the near side, actually, seeing if Wake will slide off him and see if they can bump it real quick, find that matchup.
Here is Fagan. Takes a shot that goes high. He was looking for that top side, opposite stick side corner.
And Fagan recognizes when he's got a short stick on him. Right there, he had a short stick on him. He takes that shot. Got to watch that.
Immediately put long stick on him, as that one was a shot taken and saved, as McCall tried a little jump shot that he got knocked to the ground by, and Jack Church swallowed it up.
Tough angle shot there. You'd like to see him get upfield maybe a little bit more. Keep his head up when that slide comes.
Josh Miavitz was in charge of getting that one cleared. And now it'll be Wake Forest ball. Got to watch out from behind. Matheson trying to tiptoe on the midline to maybe get a check.
Also, quick shout out to the officials. I think they've done a great job, letting them play nice and physical, but keeping the game under control. Both ways, I think it's been super well officiated in both games.
Excellent job from the guys in the stripes, as Wake Forest, again, in desperate need of a goal again if they want to stay in this game and keep it close, as there's a shot that is saved, and maybe somebody that we've mentioned his name plenty of times, but we haven't really talked about him in detail. Kyle Patton's been outstanding in net today.
He has, very consistent. What I look for out of my goalie is really to take away everything he should, and then if you can seal a couple saves that maybe you shouldn't have saved, a really tough couple guesses, that's great. But he's done a great job of hugging his pipe, taking away the easy ones, not giving them anything they didn't deserve.
You can see Chris Mango with a focus on the sideline, just calling out for patience and setting up the correct offensive play. As that one is inside and then scooped up. We thought that it was a lost cause as Kaminskis lost it, but Simaluka was able to collect it off the turf and put it in, and an extended lead now for the Chanticleers.
Coastal running some great offense. Off the bat, actually, maybe 10 seconds before that goal happened, they were in a great little play where two guys kind of exchanged on that near side and got through. Then they ran a guy really hard off that opposite side. That didn't work, but that action created a lot of chaos on the Wake defense, and when that ball was kind of regathered, he got a good shot on Cage.
Cahill was the intended target. Simaluka ended up with it, and no matter what, it ended up in the back of the net.
Again, impressed with this Coastal offense, all the movement, how they're executing their offense. The timing of it, everything. Looking good.
That one batted towards the benches and out of bounds. Mango wants the call. He's not going to get it.
And speaking to some of the timing, you can tell this is a well-rehearsed offense because a lot of this action on the backside is timed up really well with the dodging. So you can tell they've been putting in the work.
A lot of practice going in, a lot of confidence going through. As Chris Mango said earlier this week, we want them, they want us, and we're going to win this game. They were very, very confident in that.
Coastal gets away with that pass, but those are the sort of passes I'm coaching them and saying, listen, guys, we got a nice 6-goal lead. There's no need to force that. Let's run our offense, be deliberate like we have been.
Down low. Lyon tried it out and paid the price for it. Some defenders. And that one picked off, and now Wake out in front here is Cole Frank trying to get it across the midline, and he is smothered by a few Chanticleers. It's out of bounds, and it's going white. And
that Coastal ride really kind of flexing their muscle towards the end of the second half and really starting off this third quarter.
By the way, Coastal, remember last year with their uniform choices, what were those Sandy Beach uniforms last year? They went white on white, decided this year, but Coach Mango did say if we get there tomorrow, and we feel like we will, we'll pull something out uniform-wise.
The kids love that. This is an easy jersey game for us. We got one in black and one in white.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier for the commentators. Trust us. Well, here's the drive in.
And for Wake, that's fine. Nice dodge and just move it.
They move it, they shoot it, and that one is wide.
And if you're Wake there, you're happy. You take a dodge, you get a slide, you move it to the X, you get another pass, you get a shot, you back it up. You still got the ball.
Haas on the shot. Now Seidel, who's been active on offense today. Haven't heard much from Valentino in a while. Rolling around Reynolds. Shot underneath. And what an underhand move and shot. That was actually Bryce Fallstitch who was able to get that one to go as he kind of shuffled past it into the net. And no matter what, they needed to get one past Pat, and they finally did.
Yeah, great finish there. I mean, he kind of ran into a double team, got in a little bit of trouble, but got his hands free and creative finish on the net. If you're Coastal Dig, you just want to slide with a little bit more body. You see a lot of checking here. Slide a little bit more body, press him out of that area, stay on his hands, but great finish by Wake there. He needed that one.
He didn't go to the left hand. He kind of got tied up between those two defenders and just kind of threw it at the net, and it went in.
You love that you scored there, but you also want to see some ball movement, and you can't rely on kind of beating that double team every time. But good finish there.
Wake needed that, and they keep it within 5.
Big face-off for Wake there, getting possession.
Exactly.
And if you're Wake, you want to string together a couple of these good possessions. You stick a couple in the back of the net, you win a couple of face-offs, you're right back in this thing already.
Dylan Staley has been really, really good this year at the face-off dot for Coastal, but Wake has figured him out a little bit in these last couple of face-off opportunities, and now slowing the pace down. Still plenty of time, 9 minutes left in the third quarter, so not a time for Coach Hewitt and the Demon Deacons to panic. Here's Reynolds up top, turned away. He'll go again, and turned aside once again, and they'll let somebody else take care of it. Valentino, been a tough matchup today with Flintspach on him.
He's done a great job on Valentino all game.
The moving pick, and there it's going the other way. Flintspach, oh no, they called the moving pick, and immediately something was said.
I think he might have kind of thrown the ball back at the Coastal player in some frustration.
Oh, I see. So we'll see if we get an unsportsmanlike penalty here.
That's what I'm thinking.
Referees haven't really had to deal with any pushing or shoving or anything like that on the field. It's the first we've heard of it, but it will be an unsportsmanlike penalty on Wake Forest. And it's a 1 minute lock-in. So full minute for Coastal to extend their lead, and a costly penalty off of it is not only do they get the moving pick, but then to add a penalty is like insult to injury.
And then again, Chris Flintspach is doing a great job on defense, #1 for Coastal. Again, Valentino's really their guy all year. He's been producing 33 goals, 25 assists. That shows he's kind of their quarterback. You've seen Wake's run into a lot of issues here. He's getting a little bit frustrated with that defense. Got to show some of those defenders love too.
Ball moving, Fagan. And that one is wide. Lining it up and charged up the laser. And the ball movement really good from Coastal so far in their offense on this possession. Fagan again, he lets it off and off the outside of the post. Never really had a chance inside either. McCall with that shot and flying into the net. We'll call that an effort play from Kaminsky.
Yes. It was actually a great play by him to box out that goalie. Good awareness to keep that possession there. Those are some of the little winning plays that matter.
Matheson up top. They keep moving it to those midfielders. Skip pass. Matheson. Oh, and that one just flew out of his stick.
Great exchange on the backside there by Coastal.
Johnny Lyon started up now. This is a long, long possession with a lock-in here. As the penalty was ending and they just took a shot, that was Simaluka, and went right to Jack Church, and quickly in transition come the Demon Deacons in need of a goal. Valentino underneath the side L, had a chance, dropped it, put it on anyway, and it was wide, as that one was a great opportunity for the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, and that's exactly what their man-down unit wanted. Forced an outside shot, saved by the goalie. Quick clear going the other way, just couldn't capitalize. Good job by Wake.
And now Clifford has the matchup of Flintspach, and now Valentino are trying to switch this off quickly. Valentino's out there, and they do get it switched off. Not quite. Still in there. Doesn't matter, though, because going right to the net, but a save there. I think that was Logan Reynolds who went to the net, and it didn't matter at all in that possession with Patton shutting that down. Excuse me.
And you can see from Wake, it's not necessarily the worst look, but there's not a lot of ball movement happening right now on offense. Kind of just ran down to the corner and then an immediate dodge. I like to see a little bit more action and the guys off ball moving, a little bit more ball movement. Let that ball do the work for you. Right now, Coastal sliding early, kind of challenging Wake to move that ball to the backside.
Patience is key as both coaches talking to players on the sidelines, making sure they're set and ready to go. And that one was set up and ready to fly into the net for Finian Sofield as he gets it to go and enjoying a little corn on the cob. Their celebration.
Yeah, just pick
Coastal
him up
wins
too
that
close to the net here, almost to the 20-yard line. By the time he picks him up, easy step-down shot with his hands free. Got to extend that defense up a little bit further. There's a short stick. It's easy to get lost on the field, but if you start sinking under the 25 there, all the guy's got to do is take one step to the outside to free his hands up, which he did there, and it's about a 10, 11-yard shot. Tough for the goalie to make that save. Like to see them extend out a little bit, contact that a little earlier, give them a chance to slide or play defense.
Sofield, another goal there. His first of the day. Already had 2 assists on the day. And it looks like a hold going the way for Wake Forest as Staley was holding it down. So now back to Wake Forest as their deficit grows again to 6.
And if you're Wake Q, you got to find your matchups. You got to run your offense. You can't panic.
5.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter as time is a-wasting. There's some point for Wake to get back into this contest and cut this lead. Good pass inside, shot by Seidel, a little off balance, and it goes wide.
That's a little better ball movement by Wake there. It's not bad. Good backup, keep possession.
There's Valentino. Next position, he'll challenge Flintsbush, gets a little bit of a pick. Open shot, got his hands free, and he's kind of falling away and let it go, and it was high.
And Gay, that was a good job by Wake there, getting Flintsbach #1 off of him. They set a pick behind the goal and caught him on that, actually allowed Valentino to get upfield, get that shot off. See if they get back to that, see if they can get Valentino on a maybe better matchup. This could be a good matchup here, got a shorty behind.
Short stick for Ethan Haas. No, he's talented. He tries a shot. Not a bad shot at all, but again, just wide. Now 30 seconds on the shot clock for the Demon Deacons. Clifford. Back up top. Reynolds retreats. Back inside. Outside shot. Valentino hits pipe, hit the bar, and that one's going to go all the way back out. Coastal was the winner to the ball as a little bit of lackadaisical hustle there from Wake Forest as Coastal wins it back. Tyler Matheson with a heads-up play.
Yeah, good job by Coastal there. They're sliding early. Their backside has that 2-slide really early. They're kind of daring Wake to make those extra passes around the outside. It's going to be tough to throw it into the middle of that defense right now. That time, Wake a little bit lucky, skipping the ball through. Good shot by Valentino, just coming up a little unfortunate, unlucky, a little bit high.
Coastal will slow it back down. Running their offense the way they see fit. It's been a successful ordeal today with them having 14 goals, and we're not even at the fourth quarter yet.
And even just simply getting it around like that before you start that dodge is big. Just controlling the game. You know it's not there, pull it back out.
Making Moore a little too far out on Kaminskis, and his shot was wide.
And you can tell right now that, you know, they're dictating what they want to do on offense. You know, and Wake, when they're on offense, oftentimes is not really dictating quite as much as what they want to do. The defense is kind of dictating what they have to do. I'd like to see them play with a little bit more control.
Pass deflected. Fagan's going to try and save it from going out of bounds, and he does. Just 15 seconds, though, for Coastal to get a shot off here. See if Fagan drives and shoots. He does, and he scores! Slow played it from the top, and then just added a little burst of speed to get that left-handed hammer going. It's another goal for Fagan.
Yeah, great downhill dodge by Fagan here. Draws the slide. He doesn't care. Just keeps his hands moving. Nice finish to the opposite side hip. One of the best spots you can put the ball. Good quick release there. Nice crafty finish.
Tough to stop a perfect shot.
That's right.
As Fagan puts another one in that. 5 goals today for Cam Fagan, the senior, who is now 1 goal away from 30 goals on the season. As Matt Martin wins that face-off. And there's a slash that's going to come up for Coastal, so Wake Forest can double dip here if they want.
And there's that matchup again.
Yeah, Flintsbach and Valentino is going to go at it all day. And Valentino has 1 goal on the day, and he's their leading scorer. So it's been a good job by Flintsbach today, sticking to him. Clifford trying to find something. Looking for cutters to the crease, and nobody there. Valentino swims, now with a shorty on him.
Great job, Valentino, staying topside there. He's not letting him get across the top. He's dividing the field in half. He's saying, you're not going to come over the top on me. You're going down the alley.
He got back in on him. Here's Reynolds. Lefty shot. Ooh, it almost trickled past the line, but it was saved by Patton. And now Wake Forest, who took a lot of time off the shot clock and off the game clock, is now going to get back to a man-up situation.
Yep, good play there. Got a little aggressive with that takeaway check. Protected his stick, beat that guy. Got a pretty good look on Cage. Just couldn't quite finish it. Good save. And the way Wake moved the ball there, honestly, once the flag was down, they valued the ball. It seemed like that was a better possession than some of the past ones now that they knew they were going to get the ball back. I mean, it's only a 7-goal game. In lacrosse, that's nothing. You win a couple face-offs, get a couple goals, you'll be right back in this. There's no need to panic quite yet.
Jimmy Yasua going to take a seat, and wouldn't you believe it, another Connecticut kid from North Haven. Inside shot, save there by Patton, rebound, and they're going to wave it off because there was a crease violation for the Demon Deacons. Once again, Patton kind of owning his area and getting a big save for the Shants.
Yeah, that one hurts if you're Wake. Lose possession and that goal opportunity.
Owen Bishop, who's had a nice day today, the freshman. Pushing it back out as now penalty's got to get killed. Dangerous pass, and it is picked off here. I believe that's Will Peterson, the defender. And now quickly up the field they go. Here's Clifford. Valentino. Flintsbach is all over him.
And if you're Wake right here, you might have to attack those unsettled opportunities. Coastal's done a great job playing 6-on-6 since halftime. They've made great adjustments. First quarter, Wake had their way, but since then, the 6-on-6 has been pretty hard. If you get a transition opportunity, you might have to take it.
Good look inside there to Clifford, but it got deflected. Seidel. Double teamed, but beat it. Shot wide.
Again, great topside defense by Coastal, not letting them get to the middle of the field, forcing them back to the outside. Great job. Good double.
Quickly get the switch back to Flintsbach's matchup. Valentino
great
pushed
deal.
back. Smothering Valentino today. Staying right on that bottom hand with that stick.
And like we've talked about, as good as the offense has been, Chris Philpack is having himself a game. Flintsbach.
Inside, that was right at Bishop, and that is going to end the shot clock. Wake Forest frustrated with 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Coastal Carolina has just dominated defensively here in the second half. Sofield will begin the possession from up top. There's Ham, who had a couple of goals earlier. Double team quickly. He got maybe scraped on the face mask. No call. As Wake Forest will collect it and run it out for the end of the third quarter. It's a dominant performance by the Chanticleers. They want to get back to that championship Sunday. 15-8, they lead Wake Forest after 3 here on Lacrosse. Back here for the start of the fourth quarter between Wake Forest and Coastal Carolina. The final quarter of the semifinals for the Division II level here for the 2023 ALC tournament. Coastal Carolina has been in full control so far today. They've done it with great offense, but as we alluded to, George, in the break, their defense has been outstanding as well, especially in the second half.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, Chris Flinsbach has been doing a great job. I think Wake's second in this fourth quarter has got to find a matchup for Valentino that's a little bit more advantageous for him. If that's a pick and roll behind, if that's off ball, I think they need to try to get him off of that guy and on someone else, ideally a shorty, see what he can do.
Here's Fagan, hasn't shot in a while. That one high, but still real fast as they will reset. They're going to say that clipped the bar.
And Wake's got to know he's a shooter there. They got to be on his hands fast. A little bit more urgency closing out on him.
Coming around cage, McCall, backhanded shot, didn't go, but picking up the trash is Tyler Matheson as the sophomore adds to his goal total a hat trick for number 40, and it's a 16-8 lead.
Yeah, right place, right time, right on the doorstep, picking it up, sticking it in the back of the goal. Great job. A little bit like basketball sometimes. You get a rotation over, a guy goes up for the block, and it's an easy offensive rebound on the other side if that defense doesn't rotate over there, kind of get in position.
Beautiful.
Kind of stand around, look at the shot.
Great job by Matheson inside. And they have a lot of depth here on this team. And their starters have just been particularly playing with a lot of style today for the Chanticleers. Matheson from Maryland, they love him. He talks about them being, Coach Mango talked about him being their true X factor. On the field, as he makes a lot of plays that maybe not even show up in the stat sheet, but then you find him in places as that was an important time for this goal, and they got it. Coming flying in there, and no shot there from Ham. Wake Forest will take it back. Now down 8. This is a very different story than the regular season game. The final was 10-5. It was a defensive matchup. It was 4-2 at halftime, and Coastal was leading. But now it's been all Coastal today, especially offensively. 16 goals is one of their highest outputs of the year. Seidel. Bishop not giving him an inch. Crash back down on him, and now Reynolds has to settle it, or so he thought. Now picks it up.
Wake kind of continuing that dodge as they're subbing. See if they can get lined up, run some of that offense.
Top Cole Frank eats up a lot of ground with his movement. He's just shoved out. Oh, what a play. What a play right there for Coastal Carolina on defense. Is shut down defense coming on that end.
Coastal Carolina's short stick defenders often not given the attention they need, also doing a great job in the second half locking those guys down.
We come back out.
You got to give the D-middies love. Those guys work hard. Backbone of any defense with the goalie.
That leads to another position as Chris Mango still coaching hard deep into the fourth quarter here with a commanding lead. Very motivated to win this lacrosse game as Nick Simaluka passes it off to Fagan. See how much they take their time.
And I would expect them to run a little bit of clock here, be deliberate with that offense in the fourth like they've been doing the whole game.
Pass it back up to Fagan. Cross, Matheson, quick shot. Easily corralled by Church. Too long of a pass, though, and a nice job by Flinsbach, but he loses it trying to pick it up. So now Wake with some numbers, batted out of the air by Vinny Caparola, and now we've got a flag down. Trying to see what happened here. Looked like Simaluka is going to get a penalty on him in that transition, possibly a push with possession. That's exactly what it'll be. So 30 seconds for Wake. Try to get another goal here, and if they're going to make a final push, it's got to be right now, of course. With just 11 minutes to go.
What Wake's looking for here is a goal, and get a face-off win. Just one goal at a time. You want to get a goal, and you want to get that ball back on a face-off win right away. Give yourself a chance.
Valentino underneath, and Clifford scores a much-needed goal there for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons as they took advantage of the man-up opportunity. And finally, Dan Clifford able to put one in the net, his first of the day.
Great finish there by Wake. And again, Valentino, a little bit of the quarterback of that offense with a nice assist. Good look off. Good finish. And again, when you say his coach is finish in front, he caught that ball with his feet moving upfield, finished in front of the cage, gave himself a better angle at it. Let's see if Wake can do what I was talking about, win a face-off here, kind of take a little bit of control, see if they can get a little bit of momentum going.
Nice little deke there from Clifford as well, as Matt Martin's going to fight hard for this ball. They're in a desperation mode at this time. Good job by Valentino as he picks it up. Numbers again. Shot. Another save, though, by Patton on low. And now it'll be Coastal that'll get out running. Staley will just get it over the midline. See if he goes. He turns on the Jets, going right at the net. They tried to pass it off, and it was just a little too far inside to corral by Lyon. And it'll be kept on, though, by Coastal.
Wake had a great chance on the other side of the field, had a guy wide open on the crease, off the slide, but elected to shoot it instead. Good save by the goalie going the other way. You got to think with 10 minutes left in the game, Wake maybe has probably less than 10 more possessions on offense. So they got to really value that ball, get some turnovers, get some rides going.
And deep in the
ball run clears.
This is a shot by Bacon. Deep in the fourth quarter, though, dealing with the amount of players that they have, you're starting to feel the fatigue of this game, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, even looking at the sidelines, you can see Coastal's probably double just in numbers. They might have a little bit of fresher legs at this point. I also just think some of the adjustments that Coastal made has been just a little bit more effective. And again, Wake got off to a 2-0 start off the bat, kind of shocked Coastal a little bit, and then Coastal had a nice response, and since then has been rolling on offense.
Great save there by Jack Church, and a laser of a pass. And Seidel got pushed, and they wave off that loose ball push as Valentino picks it up. Doesn't quite go there as he runs into Flintsbach again.
Is he right? Yeah.
Found an open man, though, in front, and that's a kick save there by Patton as a flag flies. Still trying to corral it as Wake Forest. Now the ball is loose, and this is going to be picked up and ready for a penalty as Ben Klein took the shot, and there's a slash coming.
Valentino getting the better of the matchup that time, drawing the slash. Good pass over, couldn't quite finish it, but good play by Valentino.
Well, like we said, Wake, it's got to be now if they're going to do it, and there's already been a man-up opportunity here that has been given out to Wake Forest, and they took advantage of it with 30 seconds. And they'll have another one with 1 minute now on the clock.
Yeah, if you notice, Wake seems to be going their best against Coastal's best pretty often. You know, they're going R1 versus year one. Where Coastal, on the other hand, sometimes is they're finding their matchups a little bit more. They say, hey, we might dodge at your third pull, we might dodge at a short stick.
We'll take a break, and we'll come on back the final 9 minutes of this Division II semifinal. Coastal leading by 7. Back here at Lynchburg City Stadium, the score, Coastal Carolina 16, Wake Forest 9, is Wake Forest trying to make a late push here with 9 minutes to go with a man-up opportunity after a slashing penalty on Chris Flintsbach. Start up top, those midfielders, as Wake has not found a lot of success, especially against the goaltender today, Kyle Patton. There's a shot that goes wide and back to the Demon Deacons.
Like I mentioned right before the break, too, Wake is kind of dodging on their best pull where, you know, you've seen Cam Fagan kind of take advantage of short sticks and other matchups for Wake Forest. Doing a good job of taking away some of their better defenders.
Clifford and Seidel played a game of pitch and catch there, and it was Clifford that finally finished it off. And Clifford gets his second goal, and all of a sudden, a couple goals in a row, and you never know, maybe Wake Forest is going on a run.
Absolutely, plenty of time left. 8.5 minutes, 6-goal game.
There's a little pitch and catch there, just trying to catch the defender out between the two.
Yeah, and that bottom zone defender's got stick in one hand right there. kind of shuffling over slowly, like to see two hands on the stick there, go over with a little bit more force and balance, be able to knock him back down with that topside angle.
There's another face-off violation on Staley, so Wake going to get it back again. We've seen crazier things. With 8.5 minutes to go and down by 6, Demon Deacons are going to try to make one final push here deep in the fourth quarter. Starting off with a pick. Moving towards the net. Shot and another goal quickly out here for Ethan Haas, getting his second of the day. That's 3 straight, and you wonder, maybe now does Chris Mango think about maybe calming his guys down here and saying, look, let's settle down.
Yeah, I think you could use a timeout here if you wanted. It might jazz up Wake a little bit too, but again, I think the man defense here starts a little bit too low. By the time it really a slide comes and engages on him, he's about 5, 6, 7 yards off the cage. It's a tough angle shot with your right hand, but give him credit, he buried it.
Back to a 5-goal game. Matt Martin doing his best to thwart Staley, who's been a monster all year, and Staley got the better of him that time. It'll be defense for Wake Forest to play. Now as Sofield keeps in his stick. Might go right at it. Lost his footing and lost the ball. Can Matheson pick it up? He can, as Sofield is down and a little bit hobbled there on his ankle, and he might come off. Under his own power, though. Now with 7.5 minutes to go, and time's a-wasting for Wake Forest. Try to get this ball back.
It'll be interesting to see if they kind of extend that defense out with 7.5 minutes left, or if they're content to kind of do what they've been doing in the last quarter.
Kaminskis, and there's a shot. That one pops back into the stick of Fagan for a moment, and that's a big hit, and that's going to be a penalty again. Another penalty, so now Valentino going to pick it up, and he's running right towards the net. He's got a man open. Seidel gets it, scores with the penalty to boot, and Wake Forest has a lot of life now. Yes, they're down 4, but they are coming up the pike.
Oh, yeah, great finish there by Wake. Way to take advantage of that transition opportunity. A couple man-down opportunities, a couple transition opportunities. Wake's taking advantage of it. And if you're Coastal, you cannot have live ball turnovers and penalties. You want to protect that lead, protect the ball, protect your stick, run your offense. Live ball turnover going the other way, leading to a flag, and man-down is about as bad of a scenario as you can ask for right there.
Well, an important face-off now for Coastal Carolina to kind of stop the bleeding so that they can get a breather here. 7 minutes to go. Now it's a 4-goal game. Staley clamped it. Got it. Hasn't got it yet. Now it's picked up by Martin. Back out to Valentino, and a man-up opportunity. Down by 4. Under 7 minutes to go.
And you see Coastal with the immediate switch. They're putting Valentino at that midfield line, trying to get him a different matchup. Coastal smart, switching right back onto him with their best pull.
Clifford. Seidel. Now they're moving the ball around. Get those defenders out of position. .50 seconds still on the shot clock. They're trying to be patient. Seidel has a shot opportunity. Takes it, scores! It's a 3-goal game as Nate Seidel says, we ain't done yet. 4 goals for him on the day, 16-13, and all of a sudden, what we thought was a blowout has become quite an opportunity for Wake to maybe come back on the Chanticleers.
And this is why lacrosse is fun, ladies and gentlemen. Couple face-off wins, couple penalties. Wake is right back in this game. Great shot there. Goalie kind of got off his pipe a little bit, stung it near side. Great shot, great finish.
There's 5 consecutive goals now for Wake Forest. Martin fighting with Staley, and now there's a hold coming against Martin.
And if you're Coastal, you're still in a good position here. You just can't panic.
Coach Mango has not called that timeout that we thought he might. He's still sitting there, just waiting and seeing how his team responds now on offense.
You don't want to drop into the prevent defense kind of on offense too early and not attack the goal. Sometimes teams do that. They kind of lose that kind of attitude of that downhill scoring, and all of a sudden it kind of becomes this keep away game, and they're not actually putting goals on. So we'll see if they can kind of keep that aggressiveness while also kind of possessing that ball.
Going around, back up top. It's a bad pass, and now it's a hustle play, 50-50 ground ball here between two players, and it's picked up by Wake Forest. Coming across the line was Reynolds. He works his way through some defenders, now backs off, and Wake Forest with another possession here. And stoppage right here.
Ground ball's big X factor here in the second half. Third quarter kind of dominated by Coastal. Fourth quarter ground ball's kind of dominated by Wake.
Officials saw maybe something on the sidelines, an equipment issue for the field. But it's collected, and now Wake Forest, can they keep the momentum going? There's 5.5 minutes to go. They still need 3 goals.
And again, if you're Wake, you're staying patient, you're not panicking, you got plenty of time left here. You want to run your offense, keep doing what you've been doing.
Up top. Wake trying to spin off, but loses it. Flintsbach is out there. Flintsbach with a big turnover, and he's off to the races. Huge play by Chris Flintsbach. Throws it back in the middle. He lost it, but falling down as a defender. They've got numbers, and that pass is off target. Is it going to go out of bounds? It will, as back and forth. These possessions are so critical, and a couple of lost ones for both teams.
And again, I know Coastal's not going to love that. That's a decent opportunity, but you really want to value the ball there. You don't want to give it back to Wake that fast. You'd love to see a clear. You'd love to see a settle and then attack the goal afterwards. Great double by Flintsbach on the other side of the field. He saw that offensive guy turn his head. As soon as the defender sees that head turn, he's going to jump the other side. Good double team.
Something. Got to clear it out now. Don't want to get caught in an issue, as Reynolds had to go through a couple of defenders. Gives it off to Clifford. Clock is still ticking, under 4.5 minutes to play. Do or die time right here for Wake Forest.
Wake clearing out that side.
You can hear it from the sidelines of Wake Forest saying, you got to go, you got to go. Reynolds inside, shot, save there by Patton. And now Coastal out on the run.
Big time save there.
Could that have been the save that gets them to the championship? But again, another turnover here. And mistakes that happened in the first regular season matchup have crept up again here for Coastal Carolina.
And these are the mistakes that kill coaches, keep them up at night, right? 3-goal lead, couple turnovers right off the bat.
I know, inside. Oh, that would have been pretty. Was behind the back there from a long pole defender. That would have been something from Snavely, but instead they back it up, and now it's a really, really quick time that Wake Forest is going to need. That one is almost turned over. In fact, it is turned over, and that might have been the turnover that Wake Forest couldn't afford, as now Matheson is just going to hold here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you wanted a behind-the-back shot from a pole in that situation.
Ham almost dropped it again, as there's a flag, and now Wake Forest is in big trouble as with 3 minutes to go, and now they're going to go to man down.
It's a good pickoff by that Wake Forest defender there. If not, you would have seen Coastal probably waste that entire 60, 70 seconds left on the clock, shorten the game even more, and then take that penalty. So good job of getting the ball back real fast. See if they can do something here, man down, to get that ball possession.
This might give an opportunity for the blood to flow back into the face of Chris Mango, because he's probably been clenching for quite a while after this big run. It's a 5-goal run for Wake Forest. And you could hear from the sideline, there's 3 minutes left in the game, and Chris Mango is yelling, we got 1:20. Be patient.
Very tough here for Wake to press out, obviously being man down. Tough situation for Wake. For Coastal, you just want to extend that defense, make them come all the way out to you.
No,
just stand there if you want to.
They're talking about pressing out now. As I assume the season on the line, you got to take some risks. Now, Wake Forest, they feel like they'll be in the national tournament regardless of what happens today, but really would have needed a win to get there. as there's a shot. That one goes wide and backed up anyway. 32 seconds on that shot clock, and should be able to take it under 2 minutes. There's a shot, saved by Church. Wake's got to go now. Church takes it out of the crease. Not a lot of time as we're at the 2 minute mark now.
Ooh,
Church, long pass, he's got a man open. Valentino trying to get there. Cross pass to Seidel, shot high. Oh, that was a good opportunity.
Good vision by Valentino looking across the field there. Great pass.
Desperation time for Wake Forest.
Here's that matchup again.
Matchup comes. Valentino, can he just go? He cannot. Throws it over the defense. Back out to Reynolds. Behind the cage. Seidel trying to bully his way in. Inside, shot. Wide again. 1:26 left on the clock.
It's a great dodge there. Got him kind of extending his hands a little off balance. Great inside roll there. Quickness. Just couldn't quite finish it on cage.
And it looks like Coastal's going to be awarded the ball as well. So it was desperation time, but now it looks like Coastal is in full control. They got Cahill open, and that one's batted down. Good defensive play. Is can't quite get the ball back, can Coastal.
Again, this is a 3-goal game. This isn't over yet. Coastal needs to possess this ball. All it takes is a Wake goal and a couple face-offs.
1 minute remaining. Coastal trying to hold on here against Wake Forest. And a timeout called. Wake Forest is claiming that they don't have a timeout for Coastal, and the refs say otherwise, that they do. So, a big timeout there by Coach Chris Mango with 54 seconds remaining as Coastal just trying to hang on here, as this is a definite, what we like to call situational lacrosse, right? And if you're coaching in this position, how do you set this up?
Yeah, if I'm on defense here, expect a double off the bat. So where the ball is, you're going to see a double team, probably 2 poles, okay? And they're going to lock off those adjacent guys and try to force a pass over the top of the defense that they can recover to. If you're Coastal here, you're expecting the double off the bat. You need hard off-ball motion, guys working to get open on V-cuts. You also have to be able to move your feet and really just kind of protect your stick. And when they do double you sometimes, you might have to run through and eat a couple slides, eat a couple checks, move your feet. And again, you don't want to turn that ball over in the middle of the field, especially up top. They'll probably take it behind the goal, because even if you do turn it over at that point, you can kind of get back on defense and get set up. What you don't want is a live ball turnover at the top of the field, where Wake gets on a quick break and has advantage.
It's been an exciting afternoon, and we'll continue into the afternoon as we get set to finish this one up. And after this one at 3 o'clock Eastern time, you'll see Liberty versus Tennessee. That'll be the first of the Division I semifinals. Dan Zampano and George Revercombe here with you as we welcome you inside the booth for these final 54 seconds as we get set to take it away here. As can Coastal finish the job? You mentioned it would be a double team from Wake Forest. It's exactly what they've gotten. And a big hit. Oh, man, Snavely laid the wood. And it is going to be staying here with Coastal.
And when you double this, you want to have some guy take the left and some guy take the right. You got to work as a team here.
40 seconds.
If not, they're going to roll back to that open side, and 2 guys will be in one side of his body. So right here, 9 needs to take that top side to the right and force him back to his help, which he did not do there.
30 seconds to a championship Sunday for Coastal Carolina. They wanted 2 wins no matter what this weekend.
So you want to make him split in between those 2 guys, but
doesn't look like it's going to happen as under 20 seconds to go. Coastal Carolina needs 2 wins to get into the MCLA National Tournament, at least guarantee themselves a spot. They've gotten 1. It'll come down to tomorrow. A rematch of the 2022 ALC final will happen tomorrow as Coastal Carolina survives an onslaught of goals from Wake Forest to get a victory today, 16-13 over the Demon Deacons. George, it was a fun afternoon. It was filled with a lot of excitement. Offensively, it kind of dominated, but even though a late push from Wake Forest ended up happening, Coastal Carolina held on.
Yeah, I think Coastal did a good job of kind of controlling the middle of that game, really separating themselves. Great comeback attempt from Wake there at the end, but just not quite enough. I think it was really a game of matchups. You saw Wake not take quite advantage of the maybe matchups. They were kind of going at Coastal's best player, where you saw Coastal maybe attack maybe the third, fourth, fifth best player on that defense.
Well, we will say goodbye for now as we get set for the Division I semifinals. We, of course, know that the championship game will be tomorrow. It looks like about 12 o'clock Eastern time. Now, Coastal Carolina, a rematch of last year's final against the Charlotte 49ers. We thank you for listening to our coverage of Lacrosse TV. We'll see you right here at 3 o'clock for Liberty and Tennessee in the Division I semifinals.
ENG Storm, Engstorm. We have your card.